Hey folks, Technivorous here. Today we're going to be taking our first look at the Creality LD-002R. Now this is the second revision to this printer, and I have heard good things. We will have a full review up for this printer eventually, but for now we are going to do our first print. And in order to print on this machine, you're going to need a few safety items, and those include some vinyl gloves, as well as a face mask, because apparently this stuff is pretty stinky. So the first thing we need to do is remove the cover here. And we are going to get a little bit closer to the machine. Alright, so I have the machine plugged in. The first thing we're going to do is power it on. This is going to be the first time I've turned it on, so let's see how she works here. The lights came on, the screen goes active, and ooh, nice loud beep. Okay, so what you need to do is locate your build plate in the box there, and this piece is basically going to slide onto here, and you are going to tighten down that knob there. And the next thing you need to do is take the middle-sized Allen key that comes in your kit, and you're going to want to loosen these screws up. And the reason for that is so this shifts up and down like this, okay? Then we're going to hit System, Tool, and in the tool menu you're going to select the manual button on the left here, and then hit the home button. That is going to lower the Z-axis completely, and the reason we have these screws loosened is because it's going to hit an end stop in the back there and adjust it to exactly where we need it. Alright, so now that it's in the right place, we're going to hold down the plate so that it's flat against the build surface. We are going to tighten these all down. Give them all one more quick little turn there. I think we are in the right place. So now the next step, we are going to hit the up arrow here and raise the Z-axis. Now I've hit it about 5-6 times. I'm going to raise it up just a little bit more. You do need to get it high enough to replace the build plate underneath. A word of warning, if there's a yellow sticker on the front here, there's still a film layer that you need to remove off the top of here, and you need to remove that in order to get accurate prints. So we are going to slide this in here, since I've already removed that piece, and we are going to tighten it down. Make sure that it's secure. You don't want to over tighten anything. So at this point we're going to raise the Z-axis up quite a bit more, and we're going to get some resin poured into the vat. Now this is an Elegoo product. It is a translucent. It's about a 500 milliliter bottle. It does say to shake it well. I'm going to put on my gloves before I start pouring this. We are going to fill it to about the second notch. And again, I did move the plate up because I wanted a little more clearance for pouring the resin. So I want to give it another good shake here just to be sure. That should do it. And you can see back here these raised notches on the platform, not with my hand in the way, but they denote different amounts of fill. And we're actually going to fill to the second line there. Right about there. And it looks a little bit frothy. That is because I shook it so much. We are going to allow some of those bubbles to settle real quick. But what we need to do is go ahead and place the cover on. Since we are now done with that, you'll notice it's gotten a lot quieter immediately. The next thing we need to do is home it again. A little bit harder to press that button with the glove on, but it does work. I definitely recommend wearing them. You will need them. And while we're waiting for it to home, I do have the USB stick that came with the printer. There are some test files on here. I also put a couple files of my own on here that I sliced in Chitu box. So the USB port for this guy is in the side here. So we're going to pop that in. And we're going to back out and go to print. Now here you can see the different files that I have. I have a pirate ship. I have a set of rings. And I want to see where the test file is, so 1 second here. Well, it doesn't look like... There we go, model. It looks like there are a couple test files, an Eiffel Tower, and a little anime character. We're going to go ahead and print one of the files that I put on here. Back out of there, print, model. We'll start with the ring file. There's 3 different Green Lantern rings here. We're just going to go ahead and hit play. And the machine is starting. Now, I do want to adjust some of these settings here. So the bottom layer, we're going to set to 15. Bottom exposure is fine at 50. Normal exposure we're going to set to 8. That's the number of seconds that it exposes the item to the light. The nice thing about this is it shows you a layer by layer. This little representation here is actually the first layer that it's starting to print with the UV rays, and this process will take quite some time. So we're going to let the camera run here and get some footage, and we will return after our first print is completed. So all in all, so far this machine is really quiet, other than that beeping noise. So I want to find a way to eliminate that. I'm not sure if I have to go into the settings in here or if there's something else we have to do, but I will have a separate video on how to do that once I figure it out, because it's very annoying that it beeps so much. It seems to be every time it adjusts up and down for the first few layers, when it hits that end stop, I'm getting that really annoying beeping noise. So I think I'm going to do away with that. But like I said, we're just going to let this guy run and we will see what happens. There it goes again. You can see it shifting off of the end stop, and it'll beep again once it lowers back down into the position. Now I know it's hard to see on the screen here, but it does tell me it is now in the 3rd layer of 356, which is nice. It tells me how much time has passed, how long it is expected to take, and we also have a percentage as well. So the readout on this display is very nice as far as letting you know what you have left, what you're printing, and all of that good stuff. So we will be right back with some time-lapse footage and watch this print finish up. Alright, so our first models have finished. We're going to go ahead and put the gloves back on here, because we don't want to touch anything too sticky. Then we are going to use a little cheat here to tilt the tray and let the rest of the resin drip back off into the vat. So in order to do this, we need to remove the case here. And you can see the prints there. And the smell from this guy is quite a bit stronger than it was before. But it's not horrible. You'll notice this fan back here, that's actually the air cleaning fan, so it kind of removes the smell a little bit. Alright, so once that's dropped down, just going to kind of tilt it up like that. Just kind of push everything to the back. We're going to put the lid back on it, and we'll let anything that's going to drip off of here, such as this corner here, drip off, and let everything pool back down in the bottom before we go any further and take the plate off or anything. So we'll leave it just like this for a few minutes. Alright, so we've let it dry a little bit. We've got most of the stuff drip back into the tray. I am going to scrape the rest of this off here in a second. Let's see how hard these are to remove from the build plate with a putty knife here. And you want to keep in mind, while you're doing this, you want to have the gloves on. And they actually remove a lot easier just by hand here. And now I gotta go find that piece. So be careful not to get too much resin on this thing. We're gonna leave it on there. Set it there for a second. We'll pull it back off. And see how much excess is on here. Not too much. Alright, so we're going to place this back on. Like I said, we'll make sure that everything's dripped off there. You can still see it dripping off of the handle here. That's the stuff we scraped off. And we're going to go ahead and let this sit for a second while we examine our prints. Alright, so these guys are pretty cool. I'm actually surprised, because they were attached to the build plate like this, that with no support, the ring feature actually came out pretty well. There is a little bit of deviation in the plastic there, but I don't think it's really noticeable. The one disappointing thing is, and I'm going to have to examine whether or not this is a slicer issue or a leveling issue, is this is completely flat, and it's not supposed to be. There's supposed to be a Green Lantern symbol there. So as you'll notice, all of them ended up the same way, and that could very well be that my first layer exposure is too long as well. So we'll do some adjusting and come back to that, see if we can print a little bit better copy after we print some test models. But for our first prints, these things look phenomenal. I mean, this is a clear resin. It is almost perfect. I mean, it needs no finishing. And I'm very, very pleased with this printer so far. So let's try running one more print before we shut this video down, and we'll see what happens with one of their test prints. Alright, so we're really close to wrapping up this video, guys. I just wanted to show you these now that they've been cured a little bit. Very, very nice specimens. As I said, I'm a little bit disappointed that Green Lantern logo didn't come out in there. But this is my first resin print, so I have a lot to learn, and I actually think that this has something to do with being the build plate side. If I'd oriented it like this, I think those details would have came out nicely, but I also would have had to include support. So one of the reasons this did come out was because of this flat surface, which stuck right to the plate. I have another one here. Unfortunately, the largest of the three has already been kidnapped by my 5-year-old son, so I can't show you that one. He's running around outside with it on, but these came out phenomenal. I'm very pleased with this printer. We're now running the Eiffel Tower test print that comes with the machine. I will show you that in the actual review video. This is just quick introduction and first prints. And if you would like to try one of these machines, I will have a link down below in the description, and there will also be a 5% off coupon. Now, that link is an affiliate link, so if you purchase it through that link, we do make a little bit of money here on the channel. Just have to let you know. We always appreciate the support. For being a under $300 budget resin printer, I'm very, very pleased with the quality of this. Now, from what I've heard, the quality of the LD-001 wasn't quite as high. So they made some improvements to the machine with the second revision, and it is really, really quiet. You can hear the motor slightly, you can hear the fan, but as far as machines go, this is one of the quieter ones that I've run. So definitely a lot quieter than FDM, and not quite as quiet as my Delta, but still very, very low sound profile, which is nice. So if you want to see more of these videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We got more coming at you. I'm going to do a whole playlist on this guy, from everything from how to clean it, change the tray, to everything like that. The nice thing about this machine is there's no nozzles, and the actual lights themselves are housed in the bottom, so the wear and tear on those should be very, very minimal. The machine should last quite a long time as long as you do the proper maintenance and make sure that you are cleaning it. And there's actually a cleaning procedure built in for hardening the stuff that is gooey on the bottom of the bed and then removing it with a plastic knife, and we will show you how to do that in another video as well. So definitely leave a like and let me know what you want to see. If it's anything to do with this machine, this is a Creality machine. I've had really, really good luck with them, and I know a lot of people are big fans of their other series of printers, such as the Ender 3, the Ender 5, and the CR series. So this is definitely worth a look, and also within your price range, so give it a shot. I mean, the build plate is a little bit smaller than I would like, but again, it was under $300, so definitely a budget resin machine, and the quality is definitely there. So I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. Technivorous out. Well, that's it, guys. That's gonna wrap up this video. If you've noticed the shirt, the merch is available. Go ahead and check out the Teespring merch link down below. It won't be available on a channel store until I reach 10,000 subscribers, and so far I am just about to hit 5,000. So it'll be a little while, a couple more months before you see this on the actual channel, but they are available now. I have a couple other designs. Feel free to pop over there and check them out, and know that any purchase through the Teespring site definitely helps to promote our site here and increase the channel's ability to make videos in the future. So we appreciate all your support. Don't forget to check out the Teespring link, check out our Patreon link, leave a like on this video, and hit that subscribe button because we have a lot more coming at you in the coming days.